Great to meet you.
Hug me.
Hug me. Come on, man hug. Man hug.
Man hug.
There you go.
I felt actually that you gave me something there.
I don't know why you think that you could hold me when you couldn't get by yourself.
Interesting selection of songs. Some stuff you've written yourself, some classics. How did you choose?
Someone's dream.
That's the first single. It's called It's a Beautiful Day.
It's dealing with a breakup, but in a happy way.
That line, and I'm sure that it's for the best.
I've always written these songs that are about love or loss or like longing and all of this stuff. And I sat down at the piano and I started to write this tune. And I remember I just went, I don't know why you think that you could hold me when you couldn't get by yourself or whatever. I was drunk and that's the truth. I've never written anything sober in my life. And I think if I tried to write sober, I'd be, you know, just one ducky two. And I went, you know what? This is a great concept. I'm going to write a song about a guy whose girlfriend thinks she's the greatest and dumps him. And he realizes that once she's gone, life got so much better.
It's a beautiful day, I can't stop myself from smiling.
It's, you know what I'm saying?
Is it based
like,
on truth? Or
oh, I wish it was. No.
Okay, fine.
I might. Well, it's okay. That's okay. You know what? I should say it's based on truth. Maybe I'll be as popular as Taylor Swift if I say that. Maybe I should date Taylor Swift.
You won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. It's beautiful.
You duetted with Reese Witherspoon.
Yes.
Why Reese? How did that happen?
I had sort of gone through the singers that I knew, you know, Adele's or Katy Perry's or. And my manager said, what about Reese Witherspoon? Because both of us absolutely were fascinated by Walk the Line. She walked in the studio and nailed it. There was no messing around with Pro Tools or having to piece things together.
Now, you mentioned Pro Tools there, and for people who don't know, that's a kind of software, isn't it, which you can affect people's pitch or sound on a computer. And I think you've been pretty vocal against that, haven't you?
I'm against it while I make a standard. I have the whole orchestra around me. Because I have better pitch that way. I feel like the performance is better. I feel like I'm in the moment more. But when I sing a pop song, like say for this first single, It's a Beautiful Day, I use it. I try to make it sound a little more modern because that way it actually matches with everything that's on the radio today.
It's a beautiful day, the sun is up and the music's playing.
Is it overused now? Do too many artists rely on
Yes, it's overused. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how people sound anymore because their voices sound like little robots.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, we'll go to Cape Town too.
Swing and the standards, if you like. That's a style of music which, for many people, have associated with kind of older people in a way. But you've loved that from when you were a kid, haven't you? Why were you into it when you were young?
Every Christmas, my mother would have a Bing Crosby record playing through the house. And I really think that was where I started to pick up on liking this style of say, jazz or pop jazz, or whatever you want to call it. And
when you were a kid, did you still have this great voice before your voice broke? I mean, did it happen as your voice broke?
I knew that there was kind of a smoothness. I can't explain it. I mean, I knew when I sang. You know, it's really funny that I've never ever said this to anybody before, but I remember being like young, a kid, and I remember singing, Abra, abracadabra, I want to reach out and grab ya. And I remember thinking to myself, ooh, that sounds pretty smooth.
I've never heard that song like that before. It's completely altered my opinion of the 80s. Do a bit of robot.
Dance moves for it too.
So, well, you mentioned the fact you're going to be a dad, aren't you? And what impact has that had on you?
I think I'm probably so happy that I drive my wife crazy, because I know when we first got pregnant, we were at a party and I was so all over her, kissing her and telling her I loved her. She said that people are going to know, you know, and she said, people are going to know, you're all over me, leave me alone, you know. And truth is, I mean, it's something I always wanted and I wasn't ready for, and turns out I'm still not ready.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because in South America, your wife's, I think I've heard you say, is better known than you are.
Oh, she's way more famous. Yes, absolutely.
So you have a role reversal then. What's that like for you, going from, you know, incredibly famous Michael Bublé everywhere else to somewhere where your wife eclipses you.
I love it. I absolutely love it. The only thing that's weird for me is in Argentina, they're kissy. You know, they're like a kissy culture. Do you know what I mean? I like Canada because we're warm people, but we hug or we give a handshake.
We don't even do that in England. We have no hugging.
In England, you just look at each other.
Exactly. And ignore.
Yes. So it's weird because guys come up in the street, you know, and they say like, oh, Lusana, oh, todo bien, and they start with the kissy thing, and then they hand Fat Boy the camera and say, take the picture, and you know what I mean. It's just something that I actually like because for once I don't have to be on. For once I get to be quiet. I get to be the guy who just kind of, you know, just is, which is really great.